Yo, this is Tone Kapone, and you're getting lifted to the sounds of my DJ Spaceship. Go ahead and beam him up, boy. Let's get him. Greetings and salutations from us to all the nations. We're about to get loose, strictly for entertainment. We're repping Tampa Bay. 10 toes down, this waves of the bay. No, we ain't playing around. Tuesday nights from 8 to 10, make sure you ride the wave. This Tone Kapone and DJ Spaceship on your airwaves. We're mixing interviews, R&B and hip-hop. We're blasting off, and the top is just a pit stop.
Home is not going to be the best in the world, but it will be yours. And once you start, you will find your own flow. Be yourself. Honestly, I have found these slam poets who are always with the serious, current event kinds of poems drown out the people who just want to write about regular things. So I encourage people to write. Write about what you want to write about, and don't follow the social norm. Don't do what you want to do and be yourself. And I think that's how you really stand out, and that's how you have your own vibe. And this guy is chill.
What's going on?
So what's your name?
Again, I go by Chill. You can find me on Instagram at Chill the Poet. But my stage name is just Chill, Chill.
Okay, and what do you do?
Spoken word, of course. It's my art. I write poetry and then I perform it. That's what I like to do.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing poetry for about 7 years now, on and off.
And you've been doing that publicly, or how long have you been doing it publicly?
Publicly, I've been doing it for about a year and some change now.
Okay, how'd you get started? What went from 7 years to a year? What sparked that?
When I first started, it's a very simple story. I was watching a movie, and I saw a poet do his piece in the movie, and I really enjoyed, how he moved the crowd, how he used his words. So I said I could do that, and I really just picked up the pen and just started writing from there.
Who was that?
Big Rube. Shout out to Big Rube. Yeah, definitely. Big Rube. And that movie is ATL. If y'all ever watched that movie, check out that poem in the middle. It's a dope piece. And yeah, he my favorite poet at this point. From there, I ended up going to school. Fast forward, I started writing in high school. I did talent shows. I was getting a lot of good feedback. A lot of people really messing with me, and that's what really kept me going. Fast forward to college time, when I actually left Tampa to go to school, I kind of got hindered. I let a few people hinder me. Basically, speaking to my life, some negative things.
Like everybody goes through that, and I guess it shows what kind of quality and how much your talent is worth something if you overcome it and come back to it, right?
Exactly. Like I let them tear that down, but I picked it back up, and we here now, and I mean it's the most important decision I ever made.
So something that I remember talking about on your interview is that one of the things they told you is that it was girly. What do you say to that?
I feel like we don't listen to them people. If you really feel it and it's your passion, do what you do regardless of what people say. We live in a time now where you can do whatever you want to do. I feel like at that time I was in a mindset where I let other people try to guide my life and try to guide where I was going, but we can't do that. We gotta live for ourselves.
And your shit is definitely not girly, although it's have some girls in their feelings.
Right.
So where else do you perform?
I've been performing all over the place. Just recently, this past, Friday, I performed at the Inkwell Center right in Tampa.
Oh, yeah, I did see about that.
Yeah, I was just over there. That was really dope event. Y'all got to check that out. That's Platinum Voices. Shout out to them. Spoken word as well. My last performance before that, where were we at?
Weren't you doing a pretty recurrent show a little while back?
Right, Live, Love, and Laugh.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work on that. It's in the drawing board. It's not gone, but it's definitely under construction.
Okay.
Ooh.
Throwing it back at me, y'all.
There we go.
All right. What's the theme of your spoken word?
There is no theme. Like you mentioned earlier when you was reading the bio, I write about any and everything. I do erotic poetry. I do real life poetry. I do the lovey-dovey stuff. I do it all. However I feel is what I'm gonna write down on my pad.
I know you said that you talk a lot about mental illness, depression, single-parent household, childhood experiences, and God. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Definitely. I go through mental illness myself. I'm diagnosed bipolar. I do see a psychiatrist and things like that for it. But not to dwell on that. But what I do want to encourage people is if you are going through that mental illness, if you're going through problems in your life, you grew up in a single mother home, all those kind of things, all that pain, all that hurt, all that confusion, the anxiety, put it into your art. you'll be surprised what you can come up with when you take all that energy and just put it into something positive. And that's what I do. That's my brand, the chill way. That's what we, that's what we do with our.
Why do you say the chill way? Like, how does that relate to your spoken word or your poem?
Because again, it's not following the social norm. It's not following those poets who are, making the whole poetry scene seem like it's this big metaphoric thing, and it's people aren't being themselves anymore. Yes, you're coming from a genuine place, but I want you to be yourself. So when I say the chill way, me being chill, it's my way, and it also can relate in other people's lives as well. Absolutely.
You don't want to be all hype all the time. That's what we got Tone Kapone for in his shows. So I remember you did a visual to one of your spoken words. Are you planning on doing more like that? And can you talk a little bit about that visual for people that don't know about it?
Definitely. The visual is called Poet's First Love. It's the first visual I ever did with Miko White. Shout out to Miko White.
That's my man.
That's my boy. No. I actually just talked to him today, and when you asked about we got new projects, he's waiting on the email from me now so that we can shoot a new video. So I'm looking forward to that.
You got some stuff for us to
it's on the
watch
way.
Out for.
It's all under construction.
Where can we follow you so we can find that?
At Chill the Poet, ChillThePoet.
Okay, so going a little bit more personal, because that's what we do with Nakedly Under Construction, is you have a baby on the way?
No, he's actually here.
He has a baby here. So how do you balance between that?
Thank you. It's a learning process. Not to getting feelings and nothing like that, but me not having a father, it's definitely a challenge. It's me learning every day to give him what I never had. So as far as balancing it, it's just you gotta have a schedule
and chasing your dream, and now you got a huge responsibility.
Definitely, but it can't stop. It can't stop the dream, because in the end, that dream is gonna feed him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about scheduling and making sure that I'm giving him the time and also giving my craft the time too.
What do you think the secrets to your trade or a skill that makes you good or excel that you would recommend others to do?
Just be yourself, and again, like I said earlier, fuel your art with your pain, with your hurt, with those moments when you don't know what to do. Whether you're a painter, whether you're a writer, whether you're a blog, you know what I'm saying, whether you're a photographer, put that pain, put that energy into your work.
If money had no value, and you could do anything, what would you do? And how would you use your skills to make an impact? Would that change anything?
One more time. If money
had no value, how would you go about your life? How would you use your skills and your talents?
Just helping people. Again, the chill way isn't just for me. It's definitely something I want to imprint on other people. I want to make sure that they know that you don't have to dwell in that pain and all those kind of things. You can use it to fuel.
Okay. I want y'all to hear his poetry.
Oh, we're going to put him on the spot.
Okay, I was like, y'all got to hear this,
know good and well he's going to ride the wave. I ain't even tell you that, man. I don't even know, but I figure you a poet, so you be ready for the bullshit with it. But
you guys have any questions?
I do, man. I want to ask you about the mental health issue at the same time, man. Like, a lot of people are like afraid to talk about it or like ashamed to talk about it. Like, how long ago did you get diagnosed with it?
I actually recently got diagnosed. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a Baker Act. Baker Act is basically when they put you on a hold because you may be considered to be suicidal or harmful to yourself or others. I've been Baker Acted twice myself.
Okay.
The first time I was Baker Acted was about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I really didn't take the proper steps I needed to afterwards, which resulted in a relapse. Kind of some of the same situation. So I don't know if it was maybe 6 months ago, within the last year, I was Baker Acted again. And it kind of put a lot in perspective that I need to figure out what's going on with myself. Because if we don't, nobody is. They're going to think that we're just acting out, or that, that we're choosing to be this way. So and when you go, anyone who's been Baker Acted, before you leave, you got to talk to a psychiatrist. Long story short, I ended up talking to the psychiatrist. Clear you and all that. So I ended up going to his office after talking with him. I actually saw him today. That's what's crazy. After talking with him and, just giving him my story and how I go about my daily life, he did, diagnose me with bipolar part 2. It's different than bipolar part 1. We just have hypermaniac situations for like a few days where we get real depressed or real irritable. And then, we could be back to normal. We live normal lives. And then one day we could just have, a little stint.
Have you figured out what your triggers are to cause you to, to kick up on you?
I haven't. Like I said, I just really figured this diagnosis out within the last 6 months. So we're still working on, my plan on getting better and things like, and just dealing with it. Because it's really no cure. It's no getting better. It's really dealing with it in a better way and, working on ourselves.
Acknowledging it, man, and then dealing with it from there. A lot of people overlook stuff and, you know, like there might be signs, but they're not looking at those signs.
Definitely.
Yeah, I commend you for coming out and talking about that.
Most
man,
definitely, most definitely, yes.
You said something that I wanted to address too. You said, you know, when people have like mental disorders, a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but you encourage people that have mental disorders to put that same energy into the art, whether it be poetry, photography, DJing, whatever it may be. How has this newfound diagnosis been a focus in what you do as far as poetry?
It's allowed me to be more accepting of myself. I have a lot of a lack of self-confidence, and I put that in my art, which I'm gonna drop that for y'all later. And y'all gonna see how real and how raw it is.
He does not sound introverted when he speaks.
I mean, yeah, you gonna see that I really put my pain into the art, and you can tell, like she said, when I get out stage, the kind of people, the number of people who really walk up and say, "Yo, bro, thank you," like fire, like keep going. And it's not even on the strength, it's not like I'm in the studio or in the booth trying to go real hard. I'm just giving you me, and I'm giving you the real rawness, and that's what's gotten me where I am today.
I remember you coming to our open mic night and rocking, and you did your damn thing on that shit.
Definitely
too,
appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you're about to do right now, or here in a second. So, yeah, for sure.
You guys good?
I mean,
Anything
if we're gonna
else?
do this, then we're gonna do this correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got one more for him.
And I have one more thing to say.
You
definitely.
I'm a Dungeon family head. Like I'm a Outcast, Dungeon family DL, first, second, and third generation.
Okay.
And you mentioned Big Rube. I've never heard anybody mention Big Rube as a poet or mention him. Period. He's always like one of the guys that
In the background.
Yeah, in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And the piece that he did on ATL was pretty dope. Like, what was it about that piece that said? What was it about that grabbed your attention?
If I really, I mean, I understand the question because I saw a lot of poetry before I saw Big Rube.
Right.
But it was something about, he reminded me of me. And it was also where I was at that time. I was in high school, we thought.
So you related to another artist and it inspired you to become the artist you are.
Correct. And if you kind of look at my style, I kind of piggyback off of Big Rube. Like I have that deep voice. I'm coming at you with that knowledge, but also my realness, like Big Rube. So that piece is all in itself. Loves to see where I was at the time as far as love, and in high school we thought. Love was the amazing.
Yeah, that was it.
We thought we knew everything. So when I resonated with that piece, even in high school, as like, wow, this is dope. And then being him, his persona and everything just made me gravitate to the pen and the pad.
It's always good to find somebody that does art that you can relate to. Like for me, myself, Marvin Gaye is a person that I really relate to.
Definitely.
Hearing Big Rube, well, like you said, you heard poets before him, but hearing Big Rube and ATL, has it made you want to go back and listen to like albums and skits and interludes that he's done, just to hear what he got to say?
Definitely. I'm a big fan of Def Poetry Jam. I wish they would bring that back. I'm trying to figure out who to send a letter to bring that back so I can get on there. But he got a couple pieces on there. Alphabet, Acrobat, a couple other pieces that made me look. He really doesn't have a lot of videos of him performing anything out there. It's only like 2 or 3. But when he speaks, he speaks. So like he is underground. He's definitely underrated, man. I really wish he was more on the front end of things.
He's got one that he did on the Dungeon Family album.
Mm-hmm. He actually on Future album too.
Yes,
on the old song. I can't remember what the song was, but when I heard it, I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, well, Future is Dungeon Family too. He's second generation. Yeah, he's second generation.
Okay.
But when you get a chance, go to the Dungeon Family album. The piece he does a piece just before 6 minutes. They have a song called 6 minutes.
6 minutes,
and I think you'll really like that one.
I'm gonna check it out for real.
Man.
That's my artist right there, man.
Yeah, Big Rube.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? You want to say before I say my part, and then we hear what you really have to say?
Hey, just thank y'all for having me, man. I really appreciate the opportunity, man. I'm gonna keep going up as long as the fans love it, as long as, I still got the heart for it, as long as I still got the pain to put the energy into it. Thank y'all for it.
So, as previously mentioned, Chill has always considered himself an introvert, preferring to keep to himself and his crowd. Now, Chill reflects on his growing understanding of himself and of life as a whole, displaying obvious progression as he admits to despising the idea of not having a network of support, but feeds off the energy of others as they gorge on the feast of simple, explosive, and relatable spoken word. And y'all about to feast on this. When we make sure we're safe.
We good.
How the kids?
Yo, I'm drunk right now. And all day I've been blowing on backwoods of the finest skunk. So forgive me if I get stuck. At this craft, I'm crowned, but I've been sipping on forbidden apple crown, and I refuse to touch the ground if ain't no money down there. I double dog dare you to think that I care about anything else. My name chill, my heart been melt. Feelings ain't been felt since I got dealt the hand with no hearts. I'm just trying to tell y'all that my spades game stupid. I'm a magician, my illusions, they fool them with little effort. My renege is swifter than any nigga that's still cranking. If you look me in my eyes, I ain't blinking, and I dare you to think it's a game. I don't do this for fun. See, I breathe poetry out of my lungs, and I remember when it all begun. See, then it was for fun, but now I can't explain it, I can't contain it. It gets me high, no Kirk Franklin. But God blessed it, so I gotta thank him. It's been a minute since we had a conversation. All I asked was, since there was a burning bush in the Bible, could I come into heaven stanky? Don't blame me, I was cursed from the jump. See, 2 potheads made me. I only met my father a few times, but every occasion the Chevy was hazy. I guess it left him too lazy to raise me. Don't feel bad because when I'm on this stage, it don't faze me. See, my demons can't face me as long as I'm on this mic or I'm facing backwards daily. My Libra scale, that weighted. So my happiness ain't up for negotiation. See, I'm trying to learn patience, but I'm addicted to fast-paced recuperation. I live in a state of preparation. See, I'm prepared for her to leave and for the money to go and for the Lord to come home. Well, I lied, but y'all know them the kind of feelings we keep inside until the day that he parts the sky. Until then, I'm that high. Knocking at the doors of heaven, but I still pull the cords to the things that hurt me more. I must be addicted to pain. Tears flood my face often. I gotta be addicted to rain because I'm drowning in my own satisfaction. Another black lip bastard. I lose my CarMax often. I don't make my bed in the morning, and I'm dehydrated to holy water. Society's order of accomplishments never set well with my skin complexion. I'm juggling a hard knot life and a Smith & Wesson. I've been out of options. I'm writing poetry, but I'm still plotting on my next lick. And chill to leave you sick just to see his pockets healthy. It's crazy. I robbed a nigga 2 weeks ago, and last week after the show, he walked up telling me how much he felt me. That's irony. I keep that iron on me, but I ain't pressed. I'm blessed, but I still stress. There's a lack of self-confidence hidden behind this well-dressed smile, and I ain't had male guidance in a while, so I'm lost in the wild. If, ands, and buts still crowd my diction. I ain't wrote a poem in 3 months because I can't write it unless I feel it. My insecurities are begging for her to hurt me. She fills up my cup, but too often I'm still thirsty. And I'm sure you'll sip that tea. But if you've been paying attention, this poem isn't a reflection of her, it's a reflection of me. And although that my skin is tough, it's still elastic. But I can never handle the drastic consequences if I ever let something like that happen. To see her crying and snapping, just to write it all down in my notebook, to give it to y'all later, to see y'all reaction. See, I know y'all don't think it's that deep, but see me, I fell in love with the snapping and the clapping. And like her, poetry makes me happy. The words keep me sane, and to be honest with y'all, performing this piece just kept me from cracking under pressure. Bless you. Thank you.
Can y'all feel it now?
Gotta snap it down. You gotta snap it down. Appreciate that.
So again, where can we find you? Instagram, social media. I know you have a YouTube page.
Again, you can find me at Chill the Poet on everything. ChillThePoet. Again, thank y'all for having me.
Oh, yo, that was off the chain, man. For real. Thank you for coming through here. Thank you for being honest and open with us. And yeah, man, this is what we do. Thank you for coming back, Nakedly.
And you can see a little bit more about Chill on Nakedly Under Construction.
Definitely.
We did write a feature on him a couple months ago, and you know there's always a follow up. You can also see examples of his work on Nakedly Under Construction. Go check it out. Going through that way, you can also find his channels.
Definitely.
There you go. This is Waves of the Bay, episode 30. You guys can make sure you follow us all social media at Waves of the Bay. I'm Tone Kapone. We got DJ Spaceship. I got the GoPro, the iPad, everything going right now, man. We're trying to be interactive with it for real.